There is a flicker of brightened hope of better survival for coastal dwellers in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria, following an interventionist project funded by the European Union. This was the position of leaders who participated in a two-day inception ceremony and cooperative planning event with the tag Coping with Climate Change as a Cause of Conflict in Coastal Communities of West Africa, also known as C7 West Africa. This took place at the Golden Tulip Hotel and Resort in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. The Governor of Bayelsa State, His Excellency Senator Doye Diri, represented by Secretary to the State Government, Alabo Gideon Akawe, called on the European Union to intensify their support approach in helping coastal communities from negative effects as a result of climate change.
I wanted to think of how climate change and conflict until the presenter here made my understanding become easier. And the VC and myself were just saying, brass is not where, as a young man, I came to know it. The sea has been eating up brass to a point that they want to move backward. And the woman is saying that you cannot come backward because you will encroach on our own land. And they cannot go forward because the forward is sea and conflict. European Union, this is where you have to come to help us more, because the European Union has succeeded as an entity, a corporate body that has been fostering the interests and protect the European Union. And it's a single market, one of the largest markets. And West Africa, we have about 14 communities. Nigeria has the largest market, but if we put the whole of West Africa together, it will form a bigger market. And by competitive advantage, if we are able to produce what we have, the other country produce, we all contribute. And then the European Union will help us more. But they only come small. Huh? Just small, they encourage us, they go back. They encourage us, we go back. Please, let us be sincere in our approach.
Fielding questions from journalists, leaders of coastal communities expressed optimism of better days ahead for their people who suffer negative impacts as well as conflicts that are induced by climate change.
Many understand the consequences of environmental pollution, but are involved in illegal bunkering and standard refining. According to them, and this is a statement that somebody made, they said, we are already dead. Thus, are not afraid of death. That as they are moving, they are already dead. They are inhaling, gas flares here and there. They are already living corpses. So they've got to, while they are living, they've got to get involved in anything that they can lay their hands on to survive. Is it piracy? Is it sea robbery? Is it kidnapping? Is it standard refining? Whatever. That is the mindset with which they are doing some of these things. So they even see it from the perspective of the right position. So we need security agencies to also understand how these community, youth are also thinking.
Is that we also need our community to do a bit more in planning for ourselves. We need our community to have disaster preparedness plan as a community. So that if each community should have a plan, these organizers of this program can facilitate that at the community level, to be able to prepare for disaster at their own level. Then whatever is coming, we know that flood is almost an annual issue. If flood comes, what shall we do as a community? Communities don't have that plan. We need to facilitate those plans for communities.
The representative of European Union, in his response, promised to render support to the affected area in the best possible approach. More importantly is to get commitments from state and non-state actors regarding the project and more.
I understand what are the complaints, and yesterday His Royal Majesty handed me a book, quite interesting book, that told about oil theft and opened my mind to a series of issues of which I was not aware. Unfortunately, however, my role here is slightly different. My role here is to identify the best possible trainers, either in Nigeria or at the international level, to provide some concrete help. Something that struck me in the discussions we had was the fact that most often the security agencies are found somehow wanting in their capacity to intervene to prevent crime.
The security component coordinator of C7 West Africa Air Commodore Darlington Abdullahi provided insight into the C7 project.
So all we need to do is to maximize the benefits from these institutions, and I can tell you that with this workshop, with the support of the European Union, with the support of the Italian Shipping Academy, because the Nigerian Maritime University is coming up. They are the ones that have organized this workshop that we're here. And this is part of the awareness creation. As I'm saying that we need to appreciate some of the things that have already been. I agree there were problems and so on and so forth, but we are already making efforts to address some of these issues, and some instruments have been put in place to that. So we will continue to improve. We will continue to get the necessary support from others, to make us move forward.
Dignitaries present at the event are representative of Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff and the Director General of National Environmental Standard and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRA. Also in attendance were Chairman of the Bayelsa State Traditional Rulers Council, international non-governmental organizations, and civil society groups. Train-the-trainers workshops are scheduled to hold in Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Delta and Cross River states, respectively. Priya Ebilade reporting for Niger Live TV.